Hey Vanessa, hey Masa. I wanted to make this video for you so you had a good idea of everything that I've done to the house. So I'm gonna get started and show you what's up. Started at the very top up here at the soffit, that little area right there. It looked like there had been some rot or maybe a squirrel had busted through, but basically that little area up there I puttied and primed and painted for you, and I got all that taken care of. And then, let's see, there was a little bit of putty on this bottom corner of the window that I went ahead and took care of for you. And primed and painted it. You can see right there I did the same thing. It's all nice and solid, and that'll keep it good for the next few years. I also put some wood hardener in there, or wood stabilizer, Elmer's wood stabilizer in first before I did the putty. And then I replaced this lower piece of trim down here all the way over, or this lower piece of siding, slid it together right here over top of that and caulked it in all nice and tight. I put caulk on all the joints and primed and painted it really well, so it should hold up for a number of years. I replaced this bottom piece of trim with, this is PVC plastic, and this is pressure treated 2x4, primed and painted. I puttied in this little corner of the window that was really rotten, did some color match on that, peeled out some old silicone that somebody had stuck in there and caulked that for you, and got that all painted. And then on over here I went ahead and replaced these two bottom pieces of trim here with PVC plastic, primed, painted, and caulked all that in as well. Down at the bottom of this piece of trim, I put some PVC 1x6 in right here, primed and painted it, cut all the angles on a 22.5 downslope, 22.5 degree, so that even if it did come loose, the water would flow in the correct way. I went ahead and replaced this whole piece of fascia up to that joint right there with a PVC board, primed, painted, installed correctly. At the bottom of this door, I removed the old rotten wood and replaced with a piece of PVC trim and a piece of PVC trim. This entire piece of siding was removed, as well as this piece over to here. That was all replaced and primed and caulked and painted in. And I also replaced this piece of fascia right here all the way up to that joint, caulked it into place and primed and painted it. I puttied in the soffit underneath here, like this whole area, that's putty. I primed and painted that. Pretty pleased with how that turned out. There was another area that was a putty section right here. I puttied that in and primed and painted that. This is a piece of PVC siding replacement right here where it had rotted away that I got in there, primed and painted. I'm not sure, I don't remember if I had to do much to this. I might have just caulked the joints a little bit. I'm pretty sure I just had to caulk the joints on this one. Primed and painted that. The entire lower part of this window I replaced with cedar, because this is up high enough to where it'd be okay, and you got cedar that already exists on there. There's a little bit of paint I want to put on this little area right here and touch it up there. This was a questionable spot over here where moisture had gotten in, and it's been repaired. I went ahead and screwed the box back on for you for the dryer vent. This is likewise a little bit of a questionable place whether or not wood should be replaced, but I'm going to hit it with a little bit of paint before I go today. This window right here, went ahead and puttied that in. I replaced the window trim right here all the way over to here, put the joints in accordingly, primed, painted that. I puttied this all in up here. This trim was replaced right there, primed, painted. Trim was replaced right there and primed and painted. I removed this trim down here at the bottom and reinstalled it correctly. Also, this piece of siding right here was rotten, so I replaced that all the way down. As you can see, there's hard pine novelty siding mixed in with this cedar siding, and it's not the same detail. But I just went ahead and left it because that's what was here to begin with. And it's doing its job, it's just a little bit funny. I replaced the bottom of this door right here, this door jamb, with some pressure treated 2x4. It's already been replaced once, but I replaced it again. I also put PVC siding or trim on the outside right here. I put PVC siding on the outside right here. PVC siding right there. PVC siding right there, rather. We cut out this deck for you. I went ahead and puttied and caulked in at the bottom of these two pieces of trim, and puttied and caulked in these two pieces of trim as well. I think I needed to do that one up top there. Left that board on there. This side got replaced, however, right? Oh yeah. And then here, let me just keep on going around this way. I also replaced the trim right here and primed and painted that. That needed to be puttied, so I puttied that, primed and painted that. As you remember from the first video, there was a number of different spots that was woodpecker damage all the way up. And I puttied all that stuff in and primed and painted that as well. Now on this back porch, there were a few spots that were in pretty bad shape. And that corner right there, I was able to just putty, prime, and paint. There was a crack down that fascia I filled, but then I primed and painted this entire section all along through here. And if you look really, really close, you can see there's a section right here that I replaced. Right over to there. There's the joint. It's really hard to see. But I dug out all the old trim, and the framing back behind there was in a little bit of bad shape, so I put the wood stabilizer on it, then I filled it with putty, I primed and painted that, and then I covered it with this trim. I had to rebuild this entire corner over here, so I cut this piece out and that piece out, tore that out, and the framing back behind there was in really bad condition. I just left it in there and I put the wood stabilizer on it because it's not really a great way to be able to repair all that without taking the roof off and a lot of stuff. It doing its job structurally, it's still doing it. Also, at the very top of that drip edge right there, there was a hole in the metal, and that little hole allows water to get in there, and that's what was able to cause the wood rot to a lot of that, so I filled that for you. I also, like I said, put the wood stabilizer on and wood putty on the framing as well. I put the new trim on. I went down and got some foam this morning. I had done a little bit of soffit repair in here, and then I foamed that, and I put a few coats of putty on it at this point. I still need to finish up that little spot. I still need to reattach this gutter onto the back side of the house right here, but I'm nearly done for the day. Just a couple little touch-up spots to be able to do. Also I have gone ahead and replaced, here, let me climb on up here, be able to show you there was a couple of bad boards up here, so I tore those out. And as you can see, from that joint over to that joint has been replaced, and from that joint over to there has been replaced. I primed, caulked, and painted everything in really well. I also filled that little section right there that was exposed from a faulty repair in the past. And I also put some more paint on this little area right here. It was in pretty bad shape. It seemed like it was letting water in. I would recommend having somebody come back and do a little bit of fill work, maybe even me. on some areas like that. You want to be able to keep all this water out wherever possible, because if you don't, it's just going to go bad over time. We also help Masa lower the basketball court or basketball goal. And I've also cleaned out all the gutters for you up top. Checked out the roof up top. The one gutter above the garage out front still has quite a few leaves in it. I just wanted to take care of all that stuff up high for you while I was up there, because it's kind of dangerous really. And I figured since I was up there, I'd just go ahead and take care of it for you. So the bottom of this trim right here has been replaced with PVC, as you can see on both sides. So I got that taken care of for you. That end cap to your gutter was out in the yard. I went ahead and reattached that for you, sealed it with some caulk, and put a few fasteners in there to hold it in place for a while. And then I filled the bee holes that were right there with putty, primed and painted over top of them. There were two big ones along this piece of fascia, along the rake of the roof right here. I primed and painted all this siding all across the bottom, as well as this little piece of trim here. And there needed to be a little bit of putty work and caulking and primer and paint right there. Plus your screen spline was coming loose on this, so I went ahead and put that back in there for you as well. And I think that's about it. So I just wanted to make that video for you so you guys knew everything that I gotten taken care of. If you see any more spots on the house, I'm available. I should be around these parts for another couple weeks. I'm wanting to head up to North Carolina soon because it's getting too hot down here to be outside doing this work. But we got quite a bit taken care of. You guys should be in good shape for another couple years at least. I would suggest, you know, just constant maintenance. Constant maintenance really does so much to prevent further costs. And if you guys need any help with anything at all, you can feel free to call me no matter where I am. Okay? Have a good one. Thanks for having me out. Bye.